Okay, we pulled the tray out, all the plugs, the fuel pump's right there. I bought this 12-volt cigarette plug off of Amazon, and I'm just going to put it in the hole that was left by the plug for the remote winch. So I just stuffed it in there, and then it's got enough cable to come down and just attach to the battery. Then I'll be able to run my GPS and whatnot off the plug, and it's just the right size that I think it's going to screw in here nice and tight. It's got a back screw for it, but I don't know how much room there is back there. It'll go in there or not. But I'm going to wind that in, see if it'll fit. Alright, so that fits in there nice and flush. We got the wire coming down here. I got to run that way over to where I ran all the other wires here. And then I'd like to put a distribution box in here if I could, but I'll have to order one, I guess. That's for future. Yeah, that was pretty straightforward. I run it here. It comes with 3 fuses, so whether they think it's going to blow a lot or they just like giving the extra, that's good. So there's the fuse, so that'll sit in there. The wire will come up here to the positive, and then I already run the wire over here to the negative. But I think I got to take this all off to get the carbs anyways. So let's leave everything detached. And that's 12-volt plug now. Right on. Alright, parts came in. I'm just trying to pull the rear brake cable off the handlebar. You just got to get the rubber back, the slots lined up, and then you can get the cable out like that. Alright, rear cable is out. Now I just got to take the new one out and make sure it's the right one. Pretty sure it is, but just make sure it's the right length. It even comes with all the ends, so that's good. Everything's brand new. Looks good. Right as the air compressor comes on. So this new cable was only 25 bucks from Fortnite, so well worth the price just to get a new one instead of playing with the old one. So I just fed it back through and slid it back through, and what I'm going to do is wind this tension off as much as it'll go. That way I have lots of play on the back side. Now it's just a matter of rerunning this cable back through down to the back, and then we'll get at the other one and we'll hook both up. Got to run back here now. All we got to do is run it through the brake there, hook her up, and then run the other one. It's a semi-nice day for the end of October. Can have the garage door open. About 13, 14 degrees Celsius. Not too many of those left. Maybe 2, 3. Probably easier to take this whole thing off. Yeah. You got a spring, and then you got a washer that goes on there. And then you got a little cylinder with a hole in it that has to go through. I'm sure there's easier ways to do this. Okay, like that. And the wing nut goes on. And then you got to pull that back and feed it into the holder at the back. Like that. Okay, here's the rear one. There's no C-clip with the rear one, so I utilize the old one, I guess. I'll stick that thing in. Yeah, there's the old pieces, the pin that goes through the brake lever, the washer goes on the other side, and then the cotter pin, and then there's the C-clip that goes on the brake line. Now, this is supposed to stretch back. Take the rubber off the end. Somehow. There we go. That goes back, and then it goes back through, and then the C-clip goes on. Somehow or other. All right, there's both brakes on. I will just adjust them. Okay, that's how the brake's supposed to move. In the brake and then back out again. Not like the other one, just pull it in and it stays in. Good, right on. All right, so that's the brakes done. Thank goodness for that. Now I'm gonna pull the cover off and check the belt out, since I bought a new belt. The whole idea of this machine is cheap as possible. I got one tire that I'm gonna have to replace that's badly cracked. But the other 3 aren't too bad. They'll survive for a while. I've put maybe almost 300 bucks into oils and belt and brake cables. So far so good. It's too bad the belts weren't the same size as the Can-Ams, because I got 2 brand new ones still. So oh well, they're a lot smaller. I'll get this off. I think I read somewhere there was 8 bolts, and this boot up here you can take off, and a couple of plugs that plug into the actuator here. Okay, so unplug this, unplug that, loosen that, 8 bolts. Just watch when you're taking it out, you don't snag anything. Push the brake lever down. And there we go. And yes, they are very dirty. Very dirty. Belt doesn't look too bad though. Belt doesn't look bad at all. Clutches definitely need to be cleaned up though. There's the belt cover. That's that actuator. People remove that. I'm gonna have to look into more about that. It's supposed to put wear on your belt. I'm not sure how. It pushes against the face of the clutch there. It's supposed to be an engine brake. That's the next question is, does anybody play with the clutches? Got kind of look like a red or orange spring in there. Not sure. Definitely needs a clean anyways. Okay, somewhat cleaned up. I'm going to just leave that belt and run it for now. Keep the new one as a spare. Alright, I'm tired of playing. The clutch case back together. 2 brake cables brand new are in. Took the front plastic bumper off. It had a big crack in it, so I'm just half-ass fixing that. Just putting some tin behind it and riveting through, and then I'll just paint the rivets. Be beautiful. Okay, there's Franken fender. Good as you're gonna get. Well, a little bit of paint. I'll cover those up. Alright, there's the finished product of the Franken fender. It doesn't look too bad painted up. And you look closely, you can see the rivets and whatnot, but overall, good enough for me. Still got some issues. Needs some valve adjustment, apparently. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the fuel pump. See what's going on in here. Okay, we pulled the tray out, all the plugs. The fuel pump's right there. Got a shed off here or something. Okay, so Chris noticed the fuel line here. Cracked and gapped open. Sucking air in there. Okay, put a new fuel line on. And we mounted the fuel pump where it was supposed to be. It was loose, hanging there. So hopefully that was the issue. Alright, so after all that playing around with it, we're gonna change the fuel pump out, and we're gonna do a valve adjustment on it. So we're gonna tear it apart again. The only thing really that I accomplished today was the front bumper, Franken bumper. So it continues. You know, if anything, it's becoming easier and easier to tear this down. So back to the point here and get at the heads, change the plugs, do the valve shim adjustment, and be pretty easy to get at the fuel pump there. So we're good for next time, whenever that may be. Chris has got a few things to do, so when he comes back, then we'll be back again. Okay, when I was taking the CDI box off, noticed a broken wire, and lo and behold, if you look right there, there's a broken wire there. So that might have broken when we were playing with it the first time, which caused it to run rough. So not sure how I'm gonna fix that. Gotta figure out, needs a pin release somehow to get that out of there, but I'm not even sure how it even looks. So never done a plug like this. So we'll have to figure out something to get that back together. I fixed up the joint that they had down here. Obviously it was broken and brittle. So yeah, issues. All right, so you look closely at this plug, you can see right here it's kind of melted there. Like obviously somebody tried to, yeah, you can see the pink casing there of the wire that used to be that pink down there. So you can see that it's somebody tried to solder it in place, the end on there. So yep, not sure what I'm going to do here. All right, so I cut the side back, focusing on my finger. All right, so I cut the side back where that wire was so I could get at a little bit of wire. I soldered the new piece to it, and then I plastic welded over where I cut it out, and then I put, which looks goopy now, I put plastic dip on the wire end and insulation on the edge of the plug. So hopefully that should be good now, just as long as that solder doesn't come apart. Oh, I know it doesn't look good, but it's better than it was.